Now today's subject is about the multiverse. Humanity for a long time has considered the questions whether there exists such a thing as a multiverse, and if it does, they try to find evidence. Yet so far they cannot find any evidence on the physical side of life. They cannot enter a different universe with their bodies, so it is hard to either prove or disprove its existence. Today I want to try and explain to you that the multiverse does exist, but it is different than what you might expect. In order to understand the concept of a multiverse, we have to look at so-called reality. Now let us take this word reality. We claim this life we are living on this planet called Earth is reality, so we connect reality with the act of sensory impressions. And if I can see something and you can see it, then we call it real. But if I can see something inside my own mind and you can't see it, we say it must be unreal, or at least it is unreal to you. Yet I've gone into different worlds inside my own mind when the body goes to sleep. I experience these places exactly like I experience this reality on planet Earth. Does this not prove that the world I entered at night is reality also? Now when you go to sleep at night, we enter a totally different dimension of our own being. You do stuff there like you do them here. Yet they might be absolutely insane to a certain extent. They break the laws of physics, and yet at that moment in time we think nothing of it. Isn't that strange? Even in the dream world I can levitate, yet while I'm awake on planet Earth, I can't. Well, isn't that strange? Oh, but isn't that hinting at the existence of different worlds altogether? Maybe humanity has not realized it is already occurring to them. It is already occurring to you. You have already proven the multiverse exists, but the difficulty lies in actually accepting and believing this statement. Do you believe my words? When I tell you when you go to sleep at night, your consciousness moves into a different world. If you become aware you are in a different world, you can move and do stuff you decide to do at will, just like you can on Earth. But then you actually have the option to choose to stay in that world. And if you did, your body sooner or later would die in this planet, or on this planet called Earth. That is the best description I can give to you concerning people who die in their sleep. It is a peaceful passing for them. But then what about the person who is brutally murdered? What happens to them? The same thing that happens to each one of us every night. That moment when you fall asleep, can you remember it? Don't we all go into a temporary nothingness at the moment we fall asleep, and then strangely enough we awaken in a different world? You can move what seems to be a body in that world as again you move a body around in this world. Strange and difficult it is to grasp, but we are essentially hypnotized by the very thing we observe. So here humanity tries to discover the meaning to life. They try to figure out if there are more universes by finding them physically. Well, if we were to believe our scientists, apparently this universe is so gigantic it is unthinkable to ever reach the outer edge where a potential new universe starts. Maybe, just maybe, it is true that our own consciousness exists in multiple dimensions all at once. We enter worlds that have their own strange rules, and people are totally unaware it is even happening to them. But joy be unto those who realize this earthly life and its suffering is not only part to their own being. In fact, it can be quite liberating if you realize that whatever happens to you in this lifetime does not touch the very essence of your own immortal self. Let us consider it again. What is reality? Why would you call something a reality and something else unreal? We say it because of whether our senses can touch it or not. If it's not visible to my senses, it must be unreal. Yet tonight, when you go to sleep, try to be aware you are actually going into another realm altogether. And while you are there, you consider that to be reality. Yet if you were awake in that realm, you realized, wait a minute, my body is asleep somewhere else. But here I am in this marvelous other world. And yet I can't deny it is real to my senses. So it must be a reality. And now my so-called earthly life has become unreal to a certain extent. You see, looking for the truth and mysteries of life just by observing the physical side of our existence will never satisfy us, for all of this is temporary by nature. One day, no matter how much you have achieved or how little, you will have to let go of all of it. You can't take your status, wealth, relationship, etc. with you. Once you pass away, it's like going to sleep at night. You wake up in a different dimension altogether. Now that is the closest evidence I can provide concerning the mysterious question of whether the multiverse exists or not. Would scientists accept this claim? Probably not. As far as I'm aware, science depends on whether we can actually, by experiment, prove something, and by repeated experiments, it still holds true. Well, I can't physically take you into these worlds that I go to watch when my body goes to sleep, but you are going to your own mysterious worlds when you go to sleep. So the only experiment we can ever do occurs inside our own minds, when we are consciously determined to wake up in the so-called dream world. Try it out for yourself. Don't go to sleep at night without a purpose. Actually decide you will wake up in the inner world of your own mind, and even if it feels at first, keep doing it night after night, until one day you actually wake up there, and you see for yourself that this so-called dream world is just as real as so-called reality on Earth. We can call it lucid dreaming, but here we are inclined to just assume all of it is fake, a hallucination created by the brain. When I go to sleep, they can measure my brain waves. That is true, but I still seem to occupy a body in that dream world. Think about the absurdity of claiming that these worlds you see when your body is asleep is a creation of the brain alone. Why then, if I cut open my skull, wouldn't I see all sorts of mysterious worlds? No, you don't see it. You just see a substance that is part of the body. It's like a surgeon once said, I have cut open many bodies, but I have yet to see someone's thoughts. Oh, but by having so many theories about life, humanity becomes totally distracted and unaware of the real truth. They will believe what is on the news rather than believe what I am claiming, because it either sounds too good to be true or insane. For if it was sane, surely the news would talk about this marvelous discovery. Or would they? Why is it that the news focuses mostly on the negative? And then take it a step further. It's all focused on this dimension of our being. It's all about the conflicts raging on planet Earth. And then when you go to sleep at night, you enter a different world. What conflicts do we find there? Well, if you have nightmares, you are witnessing the conflicts that exist within your own soul. And when you look at this world, you are witnessing the conflicts that exist between humanity itself. But you exist on multiple dimensions at once. I have experienced this and keep experiencing it for myself. Maybe you've had a lucid dream. That is a start, and instead of shrugging it off as a mysterious experience, become curious about it. Actually ask yourself, if I could enter this dream world all over again, wouldn't that prove that I exist in multiple dimensions at once? When you are asleep, where are you? You are clearly not with your body. Consciousness is the only thing you have, so your consciousness moves about a totally different world. That is a different universe, you could say, for it usually shows us stuff we can't find on planet Earth. Sometimes we do, but more often than not we see all kinds of things that don't exist on planet Earth. Oh, the great mystery of the multiverse was already revealed to you from the moment you were born. You just weren't aware of it. Can you believe in this? You might want to mock it, you might want to disprove it, but you can't deny that you enter a different world when you sleep. For if you think that world is fake, even though you experience it in just the same manner as this world you are currently operating from, then this world must be fake as well, since it still impresses itself upon you through the gateway of the senses. You use your senses here to move around in the world, and you do the same in the other worlds at night. How mysterious indeed. Do you realize anything you ever desire to achieve in life is because you already have it? You become aware of what you want in your own mind, and if you were to go to sleep at night, you can manifest your own dreams at will. This I have done. You might not believe this, for I can only describe it from personal experience, but I know one day you will discover this for yourself. I hope it will happen soon, for it is the only way to set yourself free and break free from all the nonsense of this world altogether. Knowing you can enter different worlds altogether would suddenly loosen the grip this world has over your mind, and that is exactly what you are destined to become, a free spirit in the real sense of it all. But before that occurs, you can measure for yourself and in others that they usually are bowing down more to the rules of this world and what is being told to them. More often than not, they are blind leaders, or they might be aware but they don't want you to discover this truth for yourself. The governments of any country would be in trouble if humanity realized this, for what would their rules and obligations mean? I have to do stuff while I'm here on Earth, yet if I close my eyes I can fulfill all my desires in a world just as real as this. Maybe that is why throughout history, spiritual texts are always hinting at this mysterious kingdom hidden from view. Test it out for yourself. You can literally prove this to yourself, but not until you become aware of the inner world that you enter with your own consciousness will you do it. I hope one day you will. Don't be misled by all the strange theories of this world. Know that your own consciousness is the very foundation of what you call reality. For wherever you go in consciousness, that to you will be considered a reality. Do not let this world lead you astray. Know this to be the truth of your own being and be free. The multiverse is not a theory. It is a real thing, but as long as you are only considering this concept from a purely physical point of view, you will never prove it to yourself, for you cannot take your physical body into other dimensions of this universe. Just like when you go to sleep, consciousness moves through worlds, but your body stays behind. Just like when the body dies, consciousness moves through worlds and your friends and family bury your body. But are we aware that we are doing it? That is the great calling, for us to wake up and become aware it is happening, for when we do, life's mysteries slowly become revealed from the depths of your own being. Great is the suffering and confusion of those who only live in the world of mortality, where things come and go. Great is the joy of those who become consciously aware of the inner worlds of consciousness. These are the states of immortality, and if your consciousness can go there at will and accept it, then you are demonstrating to your own being that it is all reality. For wherever you go in mind is what shall be considered the only reality to you. This is just one of those revelations the universe has shown me, and it keeps revealing stuff to me. For I became fed up with all the nonsense, and I submit myself to the inner states of my own mind, so I can reveal the truth to myself, and then share what I have found with the world as time ticks on. But never forget, the only time you ever truly have is called now. It is the very moment, the present. It is the only time you ever have. Wherever you go, it is always experienced in this very moment. You cannot experience something in the past or in the future. Everything happens now. So will the truth of your own life reveal itself right here, right now? But maybe you are not ready to accept my claims. Well, one day, hopefully you are. And then that moment will be considered as now. So you can see the only time you ever have is this very moment. And that too can remove a huge weight off your shoulders. Leave the physical world alone and focus on your own conscious development, for your conscious awareness is your life. Without it, life vanishes. So if I'm conscious of moving around in a different world when this physical body sleeps, that to me has proven that there exists multiple dimensions through which I can move, and it is the same for you. I know for some of you this might be unsettling and strange, when after years of only talking about the horrors of this world, I suddenly am leaning into this direction, but it is the only way for me to go. I cannot condemn anyone in this world, for I realize now they are all in certain states of mind, and so they can scoff and mock or praise and enjoy what I do, but none of it really matters, for one day I shall move out of this world altogether. None of it really mattered nearly as much as my little ego thought. Now let me get back to the state of contemplative thought, for as we contemplate our own existence, all will be revealed in due time to the one that seeks the truth.